It's common for a movie or TV show adaptation of a book to fail to adapt all the source material correctly, and it's even more common for such adaptations to completely miss the mark when adding their own stories or characters to the source material. But among the myriad of spectacular scenes, extended or not, in the Lord of the Rings films, there is one that stands out: the Two Towers extended scene with Boromir. It's a simple scene depicting Boromir and Gondor's army fresh off a recent victory, and shows how Boromir ended up going to Rivendell for the Council of Elrond. It's also among the scenes least supported with source material, and it even deviates from the little that exists. And yet, it still delivers a compelling scene fitting of the Lord of the Rings. It clearly sidesteps from the common pitfalls of extrapolating from the book, and manages to capture the essence of the Lord of the Rings. Let's delve deeper into this scene and what makes it work when so many different adaptations fail to capture this same magic. The scene draws from several various sources. One is a report given by Boromir in the Council of Elrond, in which he relates how sudden war befell them in Osgiliath from Mordor. Outnumbered and terrorized by the Nazgul, they were driven back to the bridge, and himself, Faramir, and 2 others were the only ones to survive. Another comes in a later conversation in The Return of the King between Pippin and a city guard, Beregond. Pippin asks about Osgiliath, and Beregond relates a brief history of that battle-torn city. In it, he says, "And the fell riders less than a year ago won back the crossings, and many of our best men were slain. Boromir it was that drove the enemy at last back from this western shore, and we hold still near half of Osgiliath." We get another reference to Boromir's efforts a bit later in the book in a conversation between Faramir and Denethor, where Denethor states, "It is at Osgiliath that he will put his weight, as before when Boromir denied him the passage." Lastly, Boromir relates during the Council of Elrond that he and Faramir had a strange dream and they couldn't unravel its mysteries. Therefore, my brother, seeing how desperate was our need, was eager to heed the dream and seek for Imladris. But since the way was full of doubt and danger, I took the journey upon myself. Loath was my father to give me leave. There isn't much to draw from, and certainly other book-to-film or book-to-TV show adaptations have failed with much more to work with. The scene itself is set up as a flashback, a memory of Faramir's, and it slots in right after Faramir tells Frodo and Sam of Boromir's death. It opens with chants and cheers for Boromir, who stands proudly high up on the ruined city of Osgiliath with the flag of Gondor waving triumphantly in the wind. Already it calls to mind Boromir's heroic last stand at the end of the Fellowship, when he valiantly sacrifices himself for Merry and Pippin. But here, we see Boromir as he was before falling prey to the ring's power. He's a true soldier, and as Faramir puts it in The Two Towers, "So even was my brother, Boromir, a man of prowess, and for that he was accounted the best man of Gondor. And very valiant indeed he was. No heir of Minas Tirith has for long years been so hardy in toil, so onward in battle, or blown a mightier note on the great horn." This scene captures that description perfectly. It's clear the men of Gondor loved Boromir, and he loved Gondor. He gives a rousing speech, met with many cheers from his men. Then it cuts to Faramir making his way to Boromir. They greet each other with a hug and a playful exchange.
Good speech. Nice and short.
Leaves more time for drinking.
This time we not only see the love for Boromir from his men, but the admiration and love for him from Faramir. With just a clink of glasses and a sip, their deep brotherly love, free from rivalry or jealousy, is distinctly felt. Tolkien puts it as such, yet between the brothers there was great love, and had been since childhood when Boromir was the helper and protector of Faramir. No jealousy or rivalry had arisen between them since, for their father's favor or for the praise of men. It did not seem possible to Faramir that anyone in Gondor could rival Boromir, heir of Denethor, captain of the White Tower, and of like mind was Boromir. Boromir is proud, and rightly so, or at least we understand why. We see how Faramir respected his brother, even admired him. In just a precious few seconds of screen time, we understand the relationship between these two brothers, and we even just met the character of Faramir. Their camaraderie is particularly felt as Denethor's arrival immediately sours their mood.
Oh, one moment of peace can he not give us that?
Where is he?
Boromir's exasperated comment gives us a further look into the brothers' dynamic, a longing to fellowship together, uninhibited by their overbearing father. The next few exchanges are quite efficient at showing us the relationship between all three. Boromir, despite us seeing his annoyance for his father, is a dutiful son, and gracious and defensive of Faramir. Denethor, in turn, loves his oldest son, and is quite brutal to Faramir. And lastly, Faramir defers and looks used to this kind of treatment from his father. brutal. All these interactions stay consistent with what we know of these characters. Tolkien wrote in a note to himself that Denethor must be harsh. He must say he did wish their places to be exchanged.
That I had died and Boromir had lived.
Yes, I wish that.
In this scene, he truly is harsh to Faramir. It seems so obviously simple to write in this manner, but again, most attempts at adapting a book tell another tale. But then comes the scene between Denethor and Boromir. Here's where it departs from the book. At this point in the story, the nature of the weapon of the enemy, or Isildur's Bane, is not known, so when Boromir says,
The One Ring.
he technically wouldn't have known. Again, in the books, figuring out what Isildur's Bane was the primary reason for Boromir to travel to Rivendell. But Denethor tells Boromir the ring has been found and commands him to go to Rivendell. Already, Denethor is captive by his corrupt desire for the One Ring. He must have it, to possess it, but also as a misguided thought that the ring could save Gondor from Sauron. And here is where we see another factor that makes this scene work. It sets up motivations for each of these characters. Through Denethor, we see how Boromir will behave when under the influence of the ring. He takes on Denethor's line of reasoning and even repeats the same thoughts.
It is our blood which is being spilled. Our people who are dying. Bring me back this mighty gift.
It is a gift. A gift to the foes of Mordor. By the blood of our people are your lands kept safe.
The tragedy of Boromir hits us once more as he refuses to go, preferring to stay in Gondor. He didn't even want to go on the journey that ultimately led to his death. Then Faramir offers to go instead of Boromir, but Denethor delivers another brutalizing response to the younger son.
A chance for Faramir, captain of Gondor, to show his quality. I trust this mission only to your brother, the one who will not fail me.
And when Denethor later confesses he wished Faramir had died instead of Boromir, we're reminded of when Boromir refused to go to Rivendell, of Denethor's subsequent insistence, and Faramir volunteering to go instead. And when Denethor says,
A chance for Faramir, captain of Gondor, to show his quality.
we hear it repeated when Faramir has Frodo and the ring at his grasp.
Chance for Faramir, captain of Gondor, to show his quality.
Faramir is motivated to bring this mighty gift.
Bring me back this mighty gift.
Take them to my father. Tell him Faramir sends a mighty gift.
To his father, who constantly berates him, which makes when Sam repeats the phrase to Faramir after he lets them leave Osgiliath that much more heartfelt.
Captain Faramir, you have shown your quality, sir. The very highest.
Faramir did prove his quality, just not in the way he nor his father would have expected. Lastly, we see Boromir mounted and ready to ride. He looks at the flag flying one last time and tells Faramir to remember today, something he took to heart, as this whole extended scene is a memory of Faramir's. It's amazing how many key scenes in the movies can be tied back to this single extended scene. The Council of Elrond, Faramir's own struggle with the ring, and Faramir and Denethor's few interactions at Minas Tirith, to name a few. Despite vague references to this event and deviations from the source material, somehow this extended scene manages to capture the heart of the books. Boromir is valiant, Faramir is grieved but patient, and Denethor is harsh. Boromir and Faramir's brotherly love and dynamic is neatly and efficiently captured, and the setup for other scenes plays well in the overall story. It's a scene that every time I see it, not only do I continue to enjoy it, but my respect for how it was written increases as more and more failed examples are produced. For staying true to the characters, the character dynamics, and the skillful setup, this is why this scene works, and it leaves you wondering, why can't more on-screen adaptations today reproduce similar caliber productions?